Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thanks to Allah, the God of universe, salawat and greetings be upon to our great messenger Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and his faithful followers. Alright guys, welcome to Unires Class. On this occasion, we will learn about conditional sentence type 1. We hope in this chapter, students can express their alternative option about situation that already happens around them. So here we have three agenda, that is definition, the usage, and the example. First is definition. So what is a first conditional sentence? For definition, a first conditional sentence is a sentence that expresses an idea that might happen at some point in the future. So this sentence is explained about something real and must happen. Conditional sentence used for events that will occur in the future. So what is the usage of conditional type 1? Conditional type 1 refers to a possible condition and its probably result. The sentences are based on fact and they are used to make statements about real world and particular situation. In type 1 conditional sentence, the time is the present or future and the situation is real. Let's see for some examples. Conditional sentence consists of two clauses, their main clause and if clause. In conditional type 1, we use simple future for the main clause and if plus simple present for the if clause. Here we can see the example. I will cook dinner tonight if you clean the house. I will cook dinner tonight is simple future and if you clean the house is if plus simple present. It doesn't make any difference if you want to write main clause first or if clause first, but the form of sentence should be like this, that main clause should be simple future and for the if clause should be if plus simple present. Here we can see other example. If I meet him, I will introduce myself. If I meet him, if plus simple present, and I will introduce myself is simple future. For conditional type 1, the keywords are will and if. So if you see two clauses that consist of if and will, it's definitely type 1 conditional sentence. Here, the other example. Ahmed will buy a new book if he gets A for his math score. Of course, it's simple future. And if he gets A for his math score, is if plus simple present. This one too. If it's snowy, I will stay here. If plus simple present and simple future. I think that's all. Thanks for your kind attention. See you in next class. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thanks to Allah, the God of universe. Salawat and greetings be upon to our great messenger Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and his faithful followers. Alright guys, welcome to Unires Class. On this occasion, we will learn about conditional sentence type 2. So today's agenda, we will learn about the form, the usage, and the example of conditional sentence type 2. Here we can see that the purpose of conditional type 2 is to express real condition or to express current condition. But when is that exactly? Can we use the second conditional? We use it in a few ways. First is to imagine that our life or someone else's life is different. We also use it to ask hypothetical questions, also to give advice, and the most important is to give reason why we or why you can do something. Here we can see that we use second conditional to talk about things in the future that are unlikely and things that are impossible in the present. So we used to imagine and to dream that the present situation is different than it really is. It could be because it's impossible now or because it's really unlikely to become real. Not completely impossible, but unlikely. Unlikely in Indonesia is peluang terjadinya itu kecil. So, with second condition, we say, if this happen, that would happen. For example, here we can see, if I had enough money, I would buy a house. If the present situation is different, then I would do that. I would buy a house. If I had enough money, I would buy a house. And the other example, if I won the lottery, I would buy a car. Now, this is an unlikely event in the future, right? Because it's unlikely I'm gonna win the lottery. So, before we keep going with the other ways to use the second conditional, let's spend a little bit of time focusing on what it looks like. Remember, all of conditional sentence have an if clause and main clause. So, what makes it different from other conditional sentence? What makes second conditional sentence is different, that is, in second conditional sentence, we use if plus simple past for the if clause and would, or maybe you can use could or might, following by infinitive for the main clause. Here we can see the example. If she had a motorbike, she would visit you often. Here we can see the if clause. If clause is showing about situation, and this one is the main clause. Main clause or result clause. In this condition, we are talking about hypothetical situation, because does he had a motorbike? In reality, she doesn't have a motorbike. And this one, the main clause, is want to tell us that what would happen, what would be different if something happened. What would be different is that she would visit you often, but in reality that she doesn't visit you often because she doesn't have a motorbike. So that this sentence want to tell us that maybe she would visit you often if she had a motorbike. So it could be happen if she had a motorbike. The other ways to use second conditional is to ask hypothetical question, or to ask someone to imagine what they would do in the different situation. Example, what would you do if you quit your job? So the situation is not real. And the other way is to give advice. When someone asks you for advice, you usually try to imagine what would you do in their situation and share that with them. So the example that if I were you, I would talk to my boss before quit my job. And the last is to give reason why we can do something. Sometimes we might just want to explain the situation a little bit more. So the second conditional can really help us to do this. For example, if I had money, I would lend it to you. So I don't have explain any further here. This sentence already explained that I don't have the money, so I can't help. But it suggests maybe I want to. Maybe I would if I could. Maybe I would lend it to you. Maybe I would lend the money if I had the money. I think that's all. Thanks for your kind attention. See you in the next material. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.